This is The Gorge. It's a podcast where my friend Sarah and I gorge ourselves on talking about what's happening in the world of video game.
That's a different way of putting it this time. Cool. Oh yeah, I forgot. I was literally about to just keep on talking. The Gorge is brought to you as always by Audible, or not as always. This is a pretty recent development. That's right. We got ourselves an Audible affiliate link kind of thing, and you can go check it out. All of Audible's very wonderful many audiobook offerings, if you will. I'm still reading because I got distracted. Shirley Jackson's, the Haunting of the House on the Hill. It's super good. You should go check it out. I'm sure there's a good audio version of that. To get your free audio book, go to audibletrial.com/gorgecast.
Gorgecast.
Yes, I got it right. We have so many different URLs, and I wish there was a way to unify them, but there isn't. audibletrial.com/gorgecast. That's right. So yeah, on with the relatively short episode. This is what we're calling a Christmas bonus, y'all. This is a little baby episode.
We've got our 3 episodes already taken up, but I still wanted to cover a little bit of news because I didn't want to wait until the end of January.
Yeah.
So real quick, Sarah, what have you been doing since our last episode?
Being sick, violently ill. Literally for the last 3 days, I've just been laying on a couch going, and throwing up into a bucket. So that's been me. And I've played Fallout 4 again because, sure, it's the winter. And so my primate brain goes, we must recognize patterns, and demands I replay Fallout 4 because I played Fallout 4 for 800 hours in November of 2015. So,
It's the instinct to fly south for the winter, but you're flying to Boston.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Oh man. I am like a bird. I just kind of go I can feel a chill in the air and the sky has changed. It's getting darker out. I guess that means it's time to play Fallout 4 like a lunatic. So yeah, that's what I've been doing. I've been I put about 15 hours in, and that's really nothing in the scope of a Fallout 4 playthrough. But it's good. I was trying out I have a mod list. Once I've tested out more, I'm gonna actually post it to the internet. But it's my extremely light Fallout 4 mod list. So it's approximately 50 to 65 mods. I haven't done a count of just the most baseline stuff to make Fallout 4 into a more complete video game, where it has more quests and more content and stuff like that. Nothing to do visually or anything like that. Just the most basic stuff you need to make Fallout 4 give you more to do, because it is kind of skimpy on actual content. So I think it's good. I played the first quest line of Depravity, which is so there's a series of quests that revamp the end game of Fallout 4 called Project Valkyrie. I haven't gotten to that yet, obviously. And there's a series of quests that revamp the beginning of Fallout 4, which is called Depravity. And it's supposed to let you do an evil playthrough. Only the problem is that the writing fucking sucks. And after the first quest, I uninstalled it. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
How?
After the first quest, so for one, there's a child character done by done with voice acting by an unpaid person who's just a volunteer doing voice acting. And surprise, it's really bad. And she's a major character, so surprise, it's really bad. And it's all just it's this weird, I don't know, it gave me that weird, I wonder if fascists made this kind of thing, and I'm sure somebody's rolling their eyes when I say that right now. But it's very you're playing as slavers, but they're supposed to be funny, misunderstood slave. And I guess that you're supposed to be the bad guy, but it's just weird. I don't know, the writing, the tone of the writing isn't that you're playing a bad guy. It's, I don't know. Like, I get it. You're supposed to be like a bad person, but it has just, there's like a fine line you gotta walk there. And anytime I feel like, I don't know about this. Yeah. So there's that. Oh, and they also try to, anytime, here's like my personal, like my biggest personal, like pet peeve about Fallout 4. And I told myself I was not going to talk about this much, but here we are, I guess, whatever. Anytime your mod tries to recast Preston Garvey as like a bad guy, you're not sneaky. I see what you're doing. Like, I know that Preston is kind of like a meme and like a little annoying, like, especially because his voice acting is kind of wooden. Like, I get that. But like, Preston is like a good person. Like, he's just got that bad case of like Bethesda can't write problem, you know? Like, he's not a bad person. And it's like, it's just like weird that you want to like turn this one character who just is kind of like wooden into like your whipping boy, especially when almost assuredly your mod is a bunch of white guys writing this. And
yeah, that's uncomfortable.
It's like, you're not subtle. I actually do see what you're doing. Maybe you don't even see what you're doing, but I sure as fuck do. So they have this like throwaway line that I assume would become a bigger thing later on, where that little annoying child character tries to insinuate that Preston is some kind of like traitor and like helped instigate the Quincy massacre. And I'm like, no, I'm cool.
No, that doesn't work that way.
So between that and the horrible child character who is almost certainly like a major player in this, I was just like, yeah, I'm good actually. Thanks. Thanks. I'm cool. I don't actually need to play this.
I'm just imagining your character being like, you know what, guys, I'm done, and they just fade from existence as you uninstall the mod.
That is basically what happened, because I had to reload an earlier like I couldn't just like leave Concord, because that's like where the first mission of it is. It's in Concord. I couldn't just leave there and like uninstall the save. I actually had to uninstall the mod and then load an earlier save where none of that data was in my mod. Otherwise it was in my load order / game, because otherwise it was going to kind of fork my game. So I actually had to load an earlier save to make it go away completely. Yeah. So Depravity sucks. don't play it. It does kind of a bummer. It actually gives me a little bit of apprehension about Outcast and Remnants and Project Valkyrie, because like those, and the other one is Fusion City Rising. Those 4 mods they're not made exclusively by the same people, but there's a lot of overlap in that creative circle, I think. So it makes me a little iffy about Project Valkyrie, so we'll see. Yeah, but generally I'm already a little iffy about Project Valkyrie, because like, I mean, I have heard the writing isn't amazing because it is a bunch of modders, you know. And like, this is like another like a little small thing, but it's just kind of weird that if you focus exclusively on making like the Brotherhood and the Institute more palatable, but you don't really like do anything with like the Minutemen or the Railroad, like you, especially in the mod description for Project Valkyrie, they kind of like make the Railroad sound more hysterical, and I'm just like kind of giving them like a weird side eye, like no,
maybe not.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm gonna give it a shot though, because I want to see how much they actually revamp the end of the game, because if they can do that, that's pretty impressive, and it means maybe somebody else can do it better in like 5 or 6 years, because that's how this shit goes. I mean, they're still making massive overhaul mods for Skyrim, so you know, that's the state. That's sometimes you just have to wait a really long time. Anyways, that went too long. Ben, what have you been playing?
I've been playing Death Stranding. That's literally about all I've been playing.
I did play a little bit of Death Stranding, but not as much as I probably should have.
Boy, that game opens the fuck up.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
In a really, really good way. There are a few bits, like mostly this game goes really smoothly for me.
Right.
And then I get to parts where it falls apart, and I'm like, fuck this.
Yeah.
It like, there's never a moment where I'm like, oh boy, that was tense. I escaped by the skin of my teeth. I'm either like, I either completely walk the path flawlessly, or I fucking fall and break my entire ass all over. there's
You
no
just snap
there's no
your ass
middle
off.
ground.
Oh man, yeah, okay.
There's like a bit where I was fighting a bunch of mules, and like usually it's like, oh, I take them down super easily. They just line themselves up, and I bola gun them, and then I kick them in the ribs. It's great. I
Right.
love it. There was one where like I tried to sidestep a one of their spears, and then I went too far and fucking fell into a ravine and broke my new motorcycle that I had just built. Completely fucked up all my packages. And I was like, all right, great.
Never mind.
Super cool.
Thanks, Death Stranding. We love it. You love to see it, folks. You love to see it.
Yeah.
But all right, that's it.
Yeah. I hope they put an MP3 player in that game. That's all I'll say.
Yeah, I really do, because fucking Metal Gear Solid 4 had an MP3 player, so, like, fucking do it. Let me listen to all the cool music in that game, like, whenever I want to, instead of just when I'm reading my emails, of which there are 900,000.
Yeah.
I don't like being reminded of my job whenever I play Death Stranding. That's my only other complaint about it, is that it's like, I go to work and I read emails, and, like, people yell at me to get things done faster, and then I go home and I play Death Stranding and I read emails and people yell at me to get things done faster. I'm like, oh man.
No, granted, this is like a crazy fantasy because people are grateful when you do your job in Death Stranding.
That's true. Yeah, nobody's ever grateful when I do my job in the real world.
They're really happy when you do the thing that's expected of you, and then like they're like, "Oh, good job! You delivered that package really well." And I'm
You're
like, "That's not a real customer."
Oh, maybe if we had a job in the apocalypse, people would appreciate us more. Oh man! All right, we're done. Let's move on to news. Let's get this episode out quickly.
There's very little news besides three major things.
Yes.
So first off, Jason Schreier, the only good news journalist or game journalist out there,
it's true, my hero.
Put out an article that says the new BioShock 4 has been in development for years, apparently. 2
whole years at this point.
Which I don't believe, but also I think about Anthem, and I do believe.
Yeah, no, I 100% believe it. I totally buy it, yeah.
Apparently it's shuffled studios a few times, but it used to be in the codename Parkside.
Parkside, yeah.
Yes. And so that was, and then it developed into BioShock, a new BioShock game. There is literally no other information about what the game's going to be about.
I'm fascinated. I really thought that BioShock was just a dead franchise because of how how much the public perception of BioShock has soured now that we've had some time to really chew on Infinite, and we go, wait a second, this is bad.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
I made a tweet about it where I was like, yeah, BioShock Infinite kind of poisoned the well for me, and that ending and all of its creative decisions were kind of terrible, and I don't really want to see anything more. On the other hand, I've played BioShock 2 4 times. Yeah,
BioShock 2 is a pretty good video game, and BioShock 1 is fine. It's good, but really more so, the deal with BioShock 1 and 2 is that Rapture itself is... Rapture is the beginning. It's why fucking The Outer Worlds looks the way it does. No, it's not because of Fallout. Have you seen that game? It is 100% inspired by The Outer Worlds. Or by BioShock. Yeah. It's
Rapture.
It is blatant and explicit. Tim Kaine at fucking Obsidian played BioShock and was like, this game sucks, but this aesthetic kicks ass. And I know that, obviously other games have done that, Retro Futuristic Vibe before, Fallout does exist, but, the very specific look of the game, down to its menus, you know? I was looking at, loading screens for The Outer Worlds and just thinking, boy, this is just BioShock, man. Even, the way the hacking kind of works in that game... just little minor stuff about it is just the way it plays feels that's a really hard thing to codify, but the way The Outer Worlds plays makes me think of BioShock. Like,
I totally agree.
Do you know, like, the way the guns feel? They have, like, a really weird... BioShock guns, for all of the complaints about how, like, the Infinite handled its weapons, which is to say, poorly, BioShock guns have an extremely specific, like, tactile feel in my mind, where they're very
chunky.
Like, they're chunky. They're very punchy, and all of the weapons in Outer Worlds feel that same kind of, like, you feel that chunk. So, I don't know. BioShock is for all of its flaws, there are many. It has remained a massive aesthetic influence on just, like, video games in general. Even fucking for all of Infinite's myriad problems, go listen to our episode about Infinite 800 years ago, because we talk about it extensively there. I think I was still recording that episode on, like, my microphone in my old laptop. I think it's either our first or second episode. But yeah, like, go listen to that if you want to hear about all of those. But, like, for all of those problems, like, Infinite is still a beautiful video game. Like, it still has a lot of really good art direction, despite that art direction being used poorly. Like, so you can see, like, the influences everywhere, and it's just weird for a game franchise to just drop off the face of the universe like that, you know?
Yeah.
So 2K, I mean, I think it was smart for 2K to let the like, the franchise kind of simmer for an entire console generation. Like, this game won't be out for this console generation. It'll be out on PS5 and Xbox too.
Yeah.
And it was kind of smart to kind of let it simmer for an entire console generation. What they produce remains to be seen, you know?
Right.
I hope it's good.
Where do you think it'll be? Where do you think the new city will be?
It's going to be back in Rapture.
You think it's going to be a Rapture game?
It's going to be a Rapture video game, 100%. Yeah. Yeah, they're going to absolutely capitalize on nostalgia for Rapture.
God, that sounds really cynical, but you're probably right.
Yeah, I absolutely am right. Yeah, I mean, the most iconic part of fucking BioShock Infinite is when you go back to Rapture. Are you kidding me?
It's true. It's true. The best moment of that game is when you warp back to Rapture. Not the DLC. DLC is garbage.
That DLC sucks ass.
But the part where Booker and Elizabeth teleport to Rapture, and they're like, where is this weird place? That's, like, the best part of the game.
When Booker says, like, a city under the sea, preposterous, you're like, he said the thing, and I'm gonna clap like a seal.
And the second best part of BioShock is the Clash in the Clouds DLC, where you see the initial concept art, and it's house underwater, no, house in sky, yes.
Yes! That's it! That's literally it, man. So I 100%, they're gonna go back to Rapture, and they're gonna do either something really great or something really fucking stupid. In my dream Rapture video game, you get to play before the fall.
Right.
You know? Like, I think that's what everybody wants, really, is like a BioShock video game where you get to where it's more of a, like, okay, well, actually, no, technically BioShock 1 is an immersive sim, but it's, like, a really light immersive sim, because, like, you don't have that many options at your disposal. It's really more like, how creatively can you shoot gun? It's not like, how creatively can you navigate the level? But, like, you know, I would love it if this alleged BioShock 4 was, like, a true immersive sim, where you're really, like, just getting through areas and you know, like a Dishonored type game. You know, like something that goes hard the way Dishonored 2 kind of goes hard, with, like, that degree of openness in levels. Because there's a lot of really interesting set pieces that have been created from, like, you know, BioShock 1 and 2 with the different areas and all that cool stuff. I mean, you could just recreate areas from BioShock 1 and 2, but with, like, greater fidelity and more nooks and crannies to explore, and you could have, like, a really cool game. They probably won't do that. It'll probably be something stupid, but, you know, I don't make video games, so I don't get really to say anything. You know how it is, so.
Yeah.
What do you think, if you had to guess?
No, that's it. I'd like, there's literally no other news about it besides it's happening. So
okay.
So let's talk about so Sony and Nintendo butted heads directly for the first time since the fucking GameCube.
Yeah, they actually had like an actual. They decided to have a press conference basically on the same day. Sony's was way better. Okay, we gotta talk real quick. Let's start with the Nindies because, like, why not?
Okay.
Because there's less hype shit in the Nindies. I gotta tell you, Nintendo, you gotta stop with these like really shitty, patronizing voiceovers over your your game footage. You gotta stop, man.
I hated that. I hate to say
it was cringe, but like, yeah, bro, cringe. You are gonna lose subscribers. Because it's bad. Because it's a lot of people, like the two hosts or whatever, talk to the people watching it like they're idiots. Like, I felt like I was watching a stream for 12-year-olds, which I mean, technically I am, because, you know, a lot of Nintendo games skew kind of young. But, like, even when they were talking about Oddworld Stranger's Wrath, which, one, isn't an indie game, but two, kicks ass that it's coming to Switch, when they were talking about Oddworld Stranger's Wrath, they had, like, this really shitty voiceover the whole time, like, talking about how cool and tough this guy, and I'm like, shut up, be quiet, just let me see Stranger's Wrath again. That game kicks ass. Don't talk. So yeah, they gotta stop with that.
All right, well, let's go down the list.
All right, hit me.
Here, Axiom Verge 2. I want to play Axiom Verge. That was a surprise.
I've never played the first one. It's like a Metroidvania, isn't it?
From the people that I know that love Metroidvanias, it's one of the best Metroidvanias.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, that looks cool, and I'm surprising it's getting a sequel. It looks a sequel, but like apparently it's a prequel. Like, it's called Axiom Verge 2, but like it's going to be set before the first one.
I literally know nothing about Axiom Verge, like, whatsoever. I just know that, like, the name of that game. I'm like, that exists, okay.
Yeah.
And, like, that's it. I did not even know what it looked like until I saw that trailer.
Yeah. It looks cool.
It looks cool. It looks neat. It's, it sure is another pixel 2D game.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But, okay, so we also got Super Mash. Like, the Super Mash is the one that I think looks the coolest out of these.
Super Mash looks like the absolute coolest out of all of these, just conceptually. I wonder, because, like, they said you could earn cards that create limitations or give you some control. So that's neat.
Yeah. This game is basically you take two classic genres and then you smash them together and it procedurally generates a game with both of those mechanics kind of shoved into each other.
Yeah.
Like, you get a JRPG, but, like, your protagonist has platforming abilities in, like, the random battles.
Yeah, that sounds interesting. Like, I actually, I really want to see how that'll play out and how, I mean, obviously none of these can be too deep because they are procedurally generated and it's meant to be played just, like, quickly. But I want to see what all they do with this. Is it, because they do say procedurally generated, so does it mean that sometimes if you do platform RPG, that it'll lean more into platforming, and then sometimes it leans more into JRPG, or do you get the same one every time, or what? Like, that sounds really interesting to me.
I don't know. I guess we'll find out. Like, they showed like a bunch of like different like settings you can adjust and stuff. Like, yeah, that's a really cool idea, and like, boy, putting all that stuff like onto like an online server and having people download your games and stuff would be really cool.
Yeah, I think that sounds like that's the part I was talking about the most. That seems the most interesting is this idea that as you earn or as you play the game, you earn like limitations. Like the one I saw was like no flamethrower, so you could have that like as a thing that doesn't exist in some games, and that creates like challenge modes and stuff like that. I think that sounds really neat. I mean, that's just like really cool just to see even all the different art styles mashed up inside of the game. I was like, that looks awesome.
You get like a bunch of cool pixel stuff, and then like near the end of the trailer, they showed off a bunch of like low poly 3D models too. And
I know.
I did not expect those. That's cool.
So cool. I'm so excited to like see like what all you unlock and like what all is kind of stuff. Like, because it's like, are there different types of FPS? Like, obviously, there's got to be, like, an FPS. But, so, like, an FPS has to be... Like, FPSs did exist in the 2D era. but not. I mean, like it could be like a build engine type game, I guess. But how do you match that up with other things? Can I mash up Doom and a JRPG? Because that sounds sick.
That would be really cool.
That actually sounds really cool.
I am super curious to see how they get these things to blend in a way that actually like lets you beat a level, basically.
Right. So what was the other thing that obviously stuck out to me was Boyfriend Dungeon Boyfriend Dungeon coming to the Switch. Good for them. I'm excited for Boyfriend Dungeon.
And I think there's going to be like Switch exclusive weapons in there too.
It sounded. I don't think it's Switch exclusive weapons. It was some other feature that's exclusive to the Switch. But I don't think they would do Switch exclusive weapons because those are potential love interests in Boyfriend Dungeon.
Right.
Because Boyfriend Dungeon is the greatest video game concept of all time, where your weapons are also dateable people, and you do like dungeon grinding and stuff. And I'm like, yes, I love it. I'll take 20. Thank you. I never donate to Kickstarter because I think that's not true. Yes, it is true. I think Kickstarter is usually like a wash and mostly like you're just going to get scammed. But every now and then they come through and you get things like Boyfriend Dungeon, which actually is coming out. I donated to that. I also donated to The Good Life. But first and foremost, I donated to Boyfriend Dungeon. And
Of course
I did. It's like the most stereotypically Sara game ever. Where it has like a Persona element to it, where there's like dungeon grinding, and I think those dungeons are also procedurally generated. So it's basically just P3. I'm like, okay,
right.
Sure, I'm paying attention. So yeah, sign my ass up. I'm cool with it. We'll see.
We also got Liberated, which a game that I talked about a little while ago. I think looks fucking amazing.
That's the dystopia one, right?
Yes, the comic book dystopia adventure novel type thing.
That looks fucking rad. Just the art styles and stuff and the blending of different gameplay modes and stuff like that. I think it looks extremely cool. Just the art style itself is amazing. The art is so well done. Usually, I don't know, sometimes I feel like these games that have like a big focus on art don't really go as hard with their art as they probably should. This time it's like the focus is really the visual element of like that style, and I think it looks great. So I'm really excited for that one.
Yeah. Looks cool. Streets of Rage 4 got another demo showing off a new old character. God, Streets of Rage 4! I'm so fucking excited.
Looks so good! It looks so high!
Oh god.
I'm so ready for Streets of Rage 4, man. Like that, speaking of games that have like dope art assets, that one is on the list. It is way up there.
Everyone's new designs look so fucking good.
I know!
God. Axel with the beard and the fucking flannel shirt around his waist is like the best. Oh my god.
Choice. Everybody looks so good. I'm so proud of all of you. I'm so fucking hyped for Streets of Rage 4. This is one we'll probably kind of like how we need to play River City Girls. You know, Steam has that new function where even if it has only local multiplayer, you can still play co-op online together. Whatever that thing was called, Steam.
Yeah,
you know what I'm talking about? I don't remember what it's called.
Yeah, we talked about that. Yeah,
I don't remember what it's called, but that like. Streets of Rage 4 and River City Girls. Those are two games we need to like sit down and actually play now that we can play them together in like a feasible way, because those would be fun.
Right.
I'm extremely I think Streets of Rage 4 just looks so good. Like that art style
looks so cool.
Looks so cool. Oh, it's so rad. What else?
Oh god. The only other one, like there were a few that like didn't look that interesting. But the one that caught my eye, like surprised by, is Murder by Numbers.
Oh yeah, that's the one that has the designer from Hatful Boyfriend on it.
It's the designer from Hatful Boyfriend and the musician from Phoenix Wright, and it just looks like a Phoenix Wright case that is extended to a full game. And
it's also Picross. It's like Phoenix Wright and Picross and a visual novel. Okay. Sure.
I'm totally on board with that. That all sounds like stuff that's right up my alley.
Sure.
I love a good Phoenix Wright. I'll play that.
Okay, why not? I think it looks neat. It's interesting, so we'll see. I like the artist from Hatoful Boyfriend a lot. I also bought Hatoful Boyfriend, if you're seeing a trend here, people. I did spend actual human dollars on Hatoful Boyfriend. It's a good video game. Shut up. It's super cool. It's really good. Was there anything else? Oh, the other thing I just wanted to poke fun at is that game that's like a really obvious Overcooked, or is it Overcooked or Undercooked? Oh, that one that was like a super obvious Undercooked ripoff.
Bacon Switch, yeah, Bacon Switch.
Bacon Switch is just an Undercooked ripoff. Like, I'm sorry, because that like game director guy seemed nice, but like, I play Undercooked with my friends at parties because it's a good party game to get people angry at each other. And I was just watching this like, oh no, it's even laid out the same. I'm just like, oh yeah, man. Okay, wow, you do you, I guess. So, I think that's really it. I mean, also Stranger's Wrath is coming, but I already said that. Stranger's Wrath is cool. That's not an indie game though.
It's not, so I don't know why it's there. Also, they are making that other Oddworld game coming out eventually for something.
Someday.
Yeah. I never, like, played Oddworld, but...
I played Stranger's Wrath. I never played the others, but they're really good, allegedly. So... let's talk about hypes. Let's talk about some hypeness. Let's talk about some dope shit.
Boy, I feel sorry for Sony because their two biggest things got leaked a few days early, but whatever, let's talk about...
They're still cool. Who cares?
Let's go down the list. Untitled Goose Game is coming to PS4. Yay!
Yay! It's a good video game. I haven't finished yet. I'll do that eventually.
Superliminal is coming to PS4, which is great because fuck, I saw a tech demo of that like fucking 7 years ago or something.
I'm so happy it's actually getting a video game.
Right, it blew my mind, and I'm like, fuck yes, I want to play that so badly.
Now, what you do, Ben, is you play that on VR, and then your brain explodes out of the back of your head.
Yeah, and then I melt.
And then you turn into a puddle of goo, and you don't know what to do with yourself anymore. Yeah, because fucking Superliminal, I still remember seeing those, like, it was like a video. Tumblr. Hi, dog. Hi. Oh my god, that's right, you're dog sitting, aren't you?
Yeah, that's why I'm here.
It's okay. Hey, if you think our audio sounds a little weird, it's because we're doing a slightly different setup this time, but it's okay. We love dogs. This is a dog-friendly podcast. What kind of dog is it, by the way?
I don't know. She's a mix, a bunch of stuff.
Aw, that's cute. Anyways, yeah, like a billion years ago, I saw a video that was like, it was on Tumblr, and it was just like a short video of like stuff from Superliminal. And I was like, oh, that sounds awesome. I don't know if they'll ever make a full game around it. Hooray! They did!
Hooray, they did!
Yay! I'm so happy. Superliminal being made into a real video game makes me think of that that Glitch Phobia game we played back during our little itch indie roundup. I feel like Superliminal is like you can take your weird niche video game idea and turn it into a full thing if you need to, if it's cool enough. So I hope that's inspirational to people because I'm extremely fucking excited about that one. Holy shit. Like, it just looks like it's exactly my kind of thing. Like, weird. Like, it's very, the trailer itself gave me like mad Portal vibes. Anytime something makes me think of Portal, I'm like, yay! They did the thing! So...
and then, so we have 3 more that are worth talking about, so I'll get the boring one out of the way first. Babylon's Fall, we finally saw that game! Boy, that looks like the Platinum game! He did some Nero shit, that was cool!
Man, it just kind of looks like... I just was not impressed with, like, the aesthetics.
It looks like I don't know why it looks like when you see someone's like tech demo for like a game they're working on, but like there's no audio, there's no UI, it's just some animations going off.
Yeah, that's the big vibe I got.
It's if you took the aesthetic and the characters from like the gameplay of a Platinum game without the fucking charm of like Rising or Bayonetta or something, you know?
Yeah, it just looks so like nothing to me. I don't know. Maybe once it's further along, it'll actually have something going for it.
Mm-hmm. But
like, I don't know.
Right now, it just kind of.
They sure are doing some Platinum stuff. Like, hey, did you see?
Yeah.
They did a dodge and then time slowed down. Man, that sure is a Platinum thing. Like,
yeah, it's. I'm sure it'll play good, but it's also like I don't really enjoy. Like, there's nothing about that aesthetic that looks like interesting or to me or appealing. Where it's like, oh, I can just go play Bayonetta or Metal Gear Rising.
I got bad news for you guys. DMC5 was coming out was like kind of a bad thing because it's like I could play this video game or I could play Devil May Cry 5 again.
Yeah.
Guess which one is way better, probably. Guess which one is way better, probably. Devil May Cry 5. So yeah, it's kind of unfortunate. You gotta really exceed expectations to get that shit going, you know?
Right, yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah, so then there were the two big ones that like made me like scream a lot. Very much.
Yeah, which one do you want to do first?
Let's do the lesser one out of the way. Let's get Resident Evil 3 remake is happening. We knew it was happening, but fucking boy, it looks good.
It looks good as hell, and it's coming out in April? Okay.
It's coming out in April next year. Not 2021, 2020. It's coming out in 4 months.
That's absurd. That is 14 months after it came out, after RE2?
It's like we all said, they fucking made all of the assets already. They just have to put in... They had to make a new Jill model, and they had to make a Carlos model. Boy, Carlos looks fucking really good in this game now.
Oh, God. Carlos looks super hot.
He looks so cool.
So hot.
Jill looks amazing.
Oh, God. She's so gorgeous. Her hair is so... Like, oh, my God. She looks so good.
It's like... They were like, here's the classic outfit, classic designs. They were like, get that shit out of there. The new ones are way better.
She looks so good. She honestly, though, I am cracking up though because somebody pointed out on Twitter that like nobody at ResidentEvil.com knows how to make like a lady outfit anymore because Mia, the other chick from Resident Evil 7, whose name Zoe. So Mia, Zoe, Claire, and now. Jill all are wearing tank tops and blue jeans. Like, they all wear tank tops and blue jeans.
And specifically the tank top with, like, the white undershirt underneath it.
Yeah, it's really, I'm just like, I feel like I should be sending some fashion, like, magazines to you guys over there. But like, hey, look, there's other options. I mean, I still think she looks great, but that's just because, like, her face model is gorgeous and her hair looks so good. And she herself looks just baller. I'm extremely excited for this one. She looks great. Carlos looks fucking awesome. He actually looks like a character now instead of like generic video game man.
Right.
Carlos got all of Chris Redfield's sexy energy after what they did to Chris in RE7.
They actually, it's funny you mentioned that because someone like pointed out like Chris's like very early RE1 model, and when you compare that to his RE7 model, it's like, oh, okay, yeah, I can see the progression of that, and it's like, but like the RE5 one just stands out so much to us now. It's like, no, that's Chris, that's the default Chris.
That's what Chris looks like. Yes, he does look like an inflated football. Who cares? That's what he's supposed to look like. What have you done? So, but I mean, like, Carlos looks fucking great. I love his stupid shaggy hair. It's hot. And like, yeah, man, Jill looks awesome. Nemesis looks good. I like what Phil said on Big Think Dimension once, where he says Nemesis looks like he's melting. He looks like Joe Biden. It's awesome.
People are grossed out about it. I love his fucking weird nose that he has now.
His weird nubby nose. It just adds to the disconcerting look. It's good. His giant teeth are awesome.
Oh god, I cannot wait for him to just like fuck up an area.
Oh, it's gonna be so cool. I'm so excited. I'm so excited.
We've seen a bit more gameplay too. They showed off like a gameplay demo. Jill has a dodge and a better sprint.
Good for her. Good for her. Honestly, if I had one complaint about Resident Evil 2, it's that it did need a dodge, because like once you're caught, you're just kind of caught. You don't really have like another means of escape other than using your disposables, and it's like I don't know, it felt like you needed like another fail-safe in case things go wrong. We'll see. I'm excited though. I just think it looks so good.
There was that weird bit in the trailer, and again, I didn't play RE3 at the time, so I don't know if this is just like a thing, but like that bit where Jill is hallucinating she's becoming a zombie.
Oh yeah.
I'm very curious to see if that'll be like a thing. Like, I don't know, maybe like, does she get bit at some point? Because they showed in the trailer her pushing a zombie away.
Right.
And like it came dangerously close, and I'm wondering if that's going to be like a thing, and like there's like a time limit or whatever for her, or there's some sort of like stress-induced hallucination mechanic that goes on would be cool.
Yes, give me. God, I'm so excited.
Yeah, and like so that excited. I can't believe it's coming out in fucking April. Like, hell yes.
That's absurd. It is December now. We are less than 5 months away at this point, because it's April 3rd and it's December 11th right now as we're recording. So that's cool. Yeah, give us a new Resident Evil game nearly exactly 1 year after RE2 came out. That's always cool. I guess that's the beauty of the RE engine as well, is that you can just you can make 2 video games concurrently and just kind of share assets across the board. Like, we know that RE2 and DMC share like building assets and stuff like that. So it's like it's this cool concept of them like building like a library, and it lets them create games on the fly. And I'm like, that's awesome. I just think, to me, that is extremely cool, and it lets Capcom make some really quality shit, like, pretty quickly. It's like, hell yeah, I love this whole not waiting 5 years for a video game thing anymore. This is exactly how I think it should always be. It's awesome. So, but speaking of things we had to wait a really long time for, Hibbit, you want to get into it?
Yeah. Speaking of things that are coming out basically a year on the dot they came out last year, Kingdom Hearts Remind trailer got leaked early, and then it got shown off in State of Play, and holy fucking shit! It's not everything. It's everything I wanted. I was literally screaming in my apartment when the trailer got out. Oh my god! I was on the verge of tears. There's so much fucking cool shit in that.
Oh my god.
The Final Fantasy characters are back! We're gonna get to walk around Skullhead Kayum! Holy shit! Yuzora shows up at the end! The Kairi is playable!
They said the thing! I think a lot. I was literally watching, because like, I only watched the trailer like all the way through. Like, I saw clips of it and stuff on Twitter, because of course that's how Twitter is. I only watched the trailer all the way through like 45 minutes before we started recording tonight. And I was like, oh, this looks neat. I'm not as big of a Kingdom Hearts fan as you, but I'm like, this looks really good. I'm into it, you know? And then they got to the end where they said the thing. They said the lines. They said the thing. And my whole entire body went cold. I was like, oh god. Oh god, that's like a kick to my soul. I thought I was gonna start crying for a second there. I was like, what the fuck? Yeah, they said the thing, man.
That's like, and then someone pointed out that like in the very first beta trailer for Kingdom Hearts that ever came out, like there's like a bunch of like weird dialogue that doesn't really come up anywhere else, but it's like, wait a minute, everything they're saying fucking lines up with what's happening in this trailer, and it's like,
we need to find Sora, and it's like, what the fuck? Nomura!
what the fuck, Nomura? It's like,
what level are you on?
It's literally that thing where it's like, how many levels of setup and payoff are you on? You are like a little baby.
Nomura is actually a fifth dimensional being. That's the only way to explain it.
You watch this, and suddenly it makes sense when he was like, "Oh yeah, I've been thinking about the Final Fantasy VII remake since I've been working on Advent Children and Crisis Core."
And it's like, oh, no, you weren't. And then it's like, oh yeah, you were.
Yeah. Oh, actually, you probably were. Okay.
All right, you're like a crazy person. Okay.
No, Nomura is the game dev equivalent of a fucking shark. If he stops planning for a minute, he dies.
Oh yeah, it's awesome. Oh man.
Someone pointed out the whole thing about how it's similar it is to Versus 13 and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, it's probably most likely not, we want to pretend it's revenge, no, fuck you, I will make this game. But
right.
It's more likely the fact that Nomura hates to get rid of ideas, and one way or another, when he has an idea he likes, he'll put it in something.
He's gonna use it. He's not gonna just... This actually does mean that at some point, Tetsuya Nomura is going to make a musical video game. Because he very famously wanted to make a musical out of Versus 13, or at least include a musical sequence. So
Sarah.
Yes.
The Golden Saucer play will be a musical, and you will get to play it.
Shut up! Oh my god, no!
That's what it'll be. That's what it'll be. It'll be a fucking at least 45-minute long sequence where you do the musical.
You're blowing my mind right now. You might be right. Oh my god! Holy shit, you've cracked the Da Vinci Code. I'm so proud of you right now. That's amazing. Oh man.
God, that's what it's gonna be. But fucking holy shit, they released these renders for the Final Fantasy characters, and holy shit, they look goddamn amazing.
I know.
It's this thing where Riku is interacting with them, and it's holy shit, they've never met before. This is the first time.
Do any of you know each other?
The last time Riku saw them was through a window in Traverse Town when Maleficent was trying to manipulate him. And she's like, look, Sora's made other friends. That's the only time he's ever seen them.
Oh my god.
It's fucking amazing. And there's that bit in the trailer where it's people are wondering why did Aqua freak out at the end of the game when she saw the Heartless Swarm, and it's oh, probably because she's traumatized. And it's oh yeah, she's traumatized because she's hallucinating that they're her.
Yes.
It's fuck. Okay, that makes more sense now.
That kicks
oh my
ass.
god. Oh, everyone is playable.
Everybody is playable. Kairi is finally fucking playable. It's it. We're here. Our girl has arrived. Our small pink child has finally taken center stage and can now actually be playable like God intended.
I'm pretty sure this is the first time in the history of the franchise where Sora is the party member.
Excuse me. I'm sorry. That was a sneeze. We're gonna have to edit that out. But yeah, this is the first time ever that Sora has been playable or has been a party member. Yeah. Wow. Really?
I think so. I'm pretty sure.
Wow. That's interesting.
So, oh god, holy fuck. I was dying. Every 2 seconds, it's some new hype hit.
It's just a whole trailer of hypeness.
People were talking we still don't know who is the voice of Yozora because it's really hard because Sora's talking over him.
Right.
You know? They're if it's Ray Chase, I'm walking.
If it's if it's actually Noctis, then you're not even being clever anymore, Nomura. Nomura says he's not using ideas from Versus 13, and we're all like,
are you sure about that? Because literally the shot of Yozora walking towards Sora is fucking, the pose is bit for bit the same as Noctis' original Versus 13 design. It's
yes. Come on, guys. It's okay, you can admit it.
Oh god, I was I fucking lost my god. I wasn't expecting it to come out in fucking January.
I mean, it's been a year. Although I do remember in true Nomura fashion, I think he did say he was like hell or high water gonna get it out by the end of 2019, which, whoops. But it's okay. 1 month late is fine, but that's very Kingdom Hearts. That's very Kingdom Hearts 3. It's fine.
They also, the DLC pack comes with that and like a bunch of free stuff too that's just going to come out in like, I think like a patch later on.
Yeah, like different difficulties and stuff like that.
The fucking difficulty thing is so cool. They're literally putting in like heaven or hell mode.
Yes, and like a no healing. And what was the other one?
It's basically I think they call it like a special, but it's enemies die in one hit.
Right.
Mode, which is I think it's like either like storytelling or like world tour mode, where it's just like, oh, you literally just want to do the story and you just want to get through it again.
Right.
And then there's also the mode where like healing is disabled, and it's even harder than critical and proud mode.
Right. That's cool. Yeah, I'm into it. So
fucking awesome. And then they also are putting a live concert in the DLC pack. Like you can get like a regular edition that's just like the Remind DLC, and then the concert, which is I guess they're gonna put like videos in the library.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Sure. Why not? Mm-hmm. At this point, you and everybody else on Twitter feed apparently are just gonna buy it no matter what. So it's fine. I saw my Twitter. My entire Twitter was like, "Here, take my money."
It's like KZ said, this could cost $500 and I'd still buy it.
It's true. It's so true. I understand. I do understand.
It's like, okay, yeah, 30 steep, but it's 13 extra bosses, like full-fledged extra bosses. Like,
yeah, okay. It's steep, but I mean, like, it's what they should have done with like Persona 5 is just instead of putting like out a full fucking $60 game, just put out an extremely expensive DLC that is just like, here, we took a bunch of stuff, but it's a ton of stuff and it's everywhere in the video game, and we're gonna staple it in there and you're gonna love it. It's gonna make it a more complete video game. And then probably in a year you'll be able to buy a Game of the Year edition of Kingdom Hearts 3 that's just gonna have fucking everything. It's fine. So yeah. It's hype. So even I got like a feeling in like the Kingdom Hearts 3 trailer when they said the thing, the Ben, what's the line?
I've been having these weird thoughts lately. Like, is any of this for real or not?
Or not? Like when they said that, even I was like, "Oh fuck, okay, all right, I'm listening, Nomura. What's happening? Up?" Yeah, like I had like a moment. So that bodes well. Yeah, man, fucking Remind DLC looks hype. We're all on board. It does. Anything else?
That's about it. There's nothing really else. Ghost of Tsushima is still coming out. Remember that game? It's coming out. We're gonna show more later.
I'm excited for Ghost of Tsushima. Okay,
but I want a trailer.
But there's like nothing. They're just not showing anything, and I'm dying. It's just this poor game keeps getting screwed by lesser games. And yes, I am putting Last of Us 2 in there. I think Ghost of Tsushima, at least conceptually, looks way more interesting than fucking Last of Us 2. Like Ghost of Tsushima, everything we've seen of it from that one gameplay demo that was from last year, the year before. I think it was the year before, E3 2018. One of them, anyways. They showed a long like gameplay, and of course that's in massive finger quotes because it might not be real gameplay. But what we saw of it then was just like aesthetically, I was totally on board with everything I was seeing. I was like, yeah, fuck yeah, this is exactly my kind of thing. It had like a really cool, stark visuals and just looked really interesting. And it's like this game is being held hostage by fucking Days Gone and The Last of Us 2. Two video games I could care. I mean, you couldn't pay me to care about like the most like generic brown bleak post-apocalyptic like kind of aesthetic going on ever, and then you get to Ghost of Tsushima, and it's like, oh, this is cool. It's like there's really stark color contrast and a really good sense of atmosphere and tone, and it's moody, and it's like, this looks great. I have to fucking wait for The Last of Us 2 before I can play it. Great, thanks. Some rumors are saying fucking September. It basically is a PS5 launch title because PS5 is fucking backwards compatible, right? So like, they're gonna launch the PS5 and it's gonna come with a fucking Ghost of Tsushima disc, which I mean, okay, cool, that's fine. But still, man, that's bullshit. Cut that game out. I want to play it now. Anyways, is there anything else?
All right, no, that's about it. Everything else is like I don't give a shit about that.
Oh, Resident Evil Resistance looks neat.
Oh yeah, that looks
neat.
I'll play that.
That's it.
That's it.
There you go. That's it. So otherwise, we're good. Like we said, This is just a Christmas bonus. We love you all. We'll be back next week with real episodes.
Yeah, we will. Thank you, Visitor, background music, all that stuff, all the other stuff that happens. Our Twitters are there. Everything is in their description, like it always is.
Doobly, it's down there in the doobly-doo. Oh yeah. Hey, I'm in another podcast called Big Gay Nerds, where me and a bunch of friends get together and we play tabletop games. We try out lots of different systems. We have a lot of fun. I'm not doing the long promo this time because I want to. We're doing a short episode, or we're trying to do a short episode. Yeah. So yeah, that's it. We're done.
We're done. Fuck Sarah's being sick.
Oh yeah, fuck this horrible plague that like destroyed me this week. I was literally just like puking into a bucket for like 2 days. I actually thought I was gonna die at one point. I'm like laying in my bed, staring at the ceiling, thinking like, I'm gonna die. This is it. This is how I go. It's just because I can't keep any liquid inside of my body. So yeah, fuck that shit. I hate it. I hate this time of year. I just want Christmas to get here. Good night, everyone.
Good night, everyone. Let's see.